Welcome to Absolute Reanima, where I am too sick to do the rest of this spiel. Look, work has turned my insides inside out with stress, and I want to de stress in the only way I know how, by doing more work. This was actually supposed to be a Viviana video, but I need actual healing here, so why not talk about a medic? No, not Whispering, who actually qualifies for this niche that, well, this series is supposed to be about. No, we're talking about the other 5-star medic I love wholeheartedly and fills me with sheer joy whenever I hear her speak.
¿Quién hizo esta pezquería de horario escolar? ¿Por qué tengo que sentarme en una clase de etiqueta con esos estúpidos mocosos? ¿Y qué dos narices se supone que es esto?
God, I fucking love her so much. Yes, we're talking about Pascuala, one of my many daughters who I love dearly, but I clearly favor her over the others. Yes, even above you, Caper. I just love Roze for her personality, and she's easily my favorite welfare operator that they're ever given us. And now with the fabled Game Assault skin coming in 6 months with her event rerun, I'm jumping the gun and talking about her now because, well, I need to be healed, and the only prescription to cure this illness is bratty daughter. Now, I'm not someone who's normally keen on medics. I just think an entire class about healing isn't that interesting compared to non-healing classes having subclasses dedicated to healing. This is why I prefer Abjuras, Medic Guardians, and Alchemists if I'm going to be using healers. But there's exceptions to the rules, mainly in the 5-star rarity, though. I have a few 6-star medics for when I do need them, but as we have established many times over, so it should be ingrained in your brain if you're a regular viewer, 5-stars are the ones that are allowed to fuck around and find out, and I love using the 5-star medics who do exactly that. Roseholt isn't the exception to this rule either, because she fulfills an interesting role as a sub-healer. While you can say subclasses like Abjuras already achieve this, you don't really see a lot of pure medics that can fulfill that role. I think the closest we got to a sub-healer in the medic branch, or overall class, is the multi-target medic subclass that Roseholt is a part of, and that's mainly because they have much lower attack stats to compensate for this. Well, for the fact they can heal up to 3 targets at once without their module Y. Like, even amongst them, I would say Roseholt best fits the mold of a sub-healer due to her talent being designed in assisting healing output for other operators. Herbalist numero uno, which, well, she is the numero uno herbalist, is her talent, and it's quite simple. She loses 5% of her own attack, but allied operators in her range receive more healing, which is 17% because she is a welfare, so I'm using her full pot numbers. This means she personally should be healing for 12% more, and also increases her own all healing effects to allies in her range too. And this doesn't just apply to normal healing methods. Basically, if the heal comes up as a green number, it gets amplified by this talent. So no, it doesn't work with passive healing, but stuff like Reapers on hit healing will get buffed with this, meaning she can give more survivability to these solo laning types if they happen to be in her range. Although I would argue if she's in the range of a Pascuala, you might as well just use like any other lane holding option at that point. But yeah, no, I actually kind of wish this buffed passive healing as well, just so she can pair better with operators like Shoes So Tiled. But no, 17% for active healing, as we should call it, is neat. As for a module, we're looking at an improvement of 5% with mod 3, which means it's a 22% buff overall. I won't discuss mod fee value here because I am biased as fuck. As someone who frequently uses Roseholt, 5% more heal value to herself is good in my books. But if you're planning to use her as an actual sub-healer for the sub-healer role once in a while, maybe not worth the resources. What's actually worth discussing is the merits of giving her mod X over mod Y, but I'll save that for the S2 section as it's more impactful there. Her first skill, though, is top-notch emergency meds, and the only emergency meds I need right now is herself and not what the skill is. How do I put it? This is the medic equivalent of a generic crit skill that comes with charges. Basically, she will automatically consume a charge to up her next heal. I'm just going to skip to M3 stats here because it only gains its second charge at M1, And I won't be asking you to promote the skill since, like most 5 stars, her S1 is for fans, while her S2 is her actual selling point. So at M3, it's a 190% heal modifier, and there will be no maths because I'm de-stressing. I don't want to be stressing over maths right now. If I feel nice later, I'll drop them in the comments. But honestly, though, it's not worth the masteries. Like, outside of getting a second charge with the masteries, it's only an overall improvement of 25% and a decreased cost of 2 SP. And considering the nature of medics, that second charge is more of a deposit than a natural charge, because she will ideally always be healing, so she will rarely be able to hold both charges. Overall, it's a mid skill for superfans like me to use anyway, because sometimes I don't need her S2, and I know me saying that will only leave her calling me a stupid hoodhead, so let's just move on to S2. Superfine slow release meds is of course the reason to use Pascuala. She reduces her attack intervals, which means faster and more frequent heals, which is normal design choice for multi-target medics, but she also turns a percentage of art and physical damage received by operators in range into HP loss that occurs over 5 seconds, which is the real interesting part. Her S2 effectively makes her into a mini Abjura sorts with her own brand of Sanctuary. Yes, the operators will eventually take the full damage, but by turning it into HP loss, she buys time for her or any other healer to heal it up. The fact that this can stack with something like Sanctuary too is great and makes her a great pick in high damage scenarios, and of course you will want masteries on this skill. At skill level 7 is only a 30% conversion rate with a 40 SP cost, while her M3 makes it a 50% conversion rate with a 36 SP cost, so I highly recommend the M3 on her. Since we now understand how her S2 works though, let's revisit modules, because this is a case where I think I would rather see the mod Y on her. Like, mod X does give her the extra tile, which means she can apply her talent in S2 in a slightly wider range. But I would argue that's situational at worst, since it's only a single tile, while mod Y would allow her to take more advantage of the reduced attack intervals and make her a little more independent of a second healer. At the end of the day, I don't really mind either options, as both have their advantages with Rose's design philosophy, but I think this is just another argument for giving 5 stars second modules once again, just like it was with Quercus and her getting the mod Y over a mod X. As for if you should get the mod 1, definitely yes. That extra tile is worth it for what it is, even if I call it situational at worst. What do you think, Pascuala? Oh, sorry. Pascuala is a precious being, and I think we all know that. And as I am tempted to end it on that note, I need to take this seriously, or my daughter's gonna hate me. So, Rose Salt, she's pretty good and serves a really niche role of that being a sub medic in a branch where every member is competing against each other to just achieve the same result. It's operators like Rosal that stand out to me. Like, any medic can heal, but not every medic can serve as a sub healer. It's sort of like how Vandella stands out from the class of incarnation medics by synergizing with tanks by giving them taunt and fawns, or how Kalsa just doesn't do her job and plays favorites with her spine. Rosalt has her special, unique role and excels at it, which is great, especially for a free operator. And since welfares mainly cater to newer players, I think if you're one of those newer players, Rose Salt is 100% worth your resources. She's one of the few 5 stars that actually gets better as your account grows, as she can move from being a main healer to a sub healer role in high damage scenarios with ease. And to be honest, everyone needs an adorable daughter like Pascuala on their team. Now come here, my adorable darling. God, I love her so much.